I'd love to be there to celebrate you guys in person. I want to give a shout out and a thank you for MCA for taking this on, even when it looked like the project might not have happened. They really stuck to it. So that's tenacity to keep pushing it ahead. So thank you to Nora Abrams for that and the entire MCA crew, Krista. And also thank you for my assistant, my friend, Stephen Rose, who kind of helped this along, this process along of the remote installation, which is a whole new thing for us. Um, so much of my work is about the kind of physicality of the material and reacting to that in its construction, but also in its presentation. So really needed to trust in the crew there and have the right people around for the project to come together. And I'm really proud of how it looks, and I'm looking forward to seeing how having other people see it and hearing the reaction. Also, like to give a shout out to Gary for really sticking with the project as well, and the museum, where like you said, the project originated. A lot of the like Gary has said, Gary took away a lot of my fire because he's pretty much said everything I needed to say. But one thing I did want to bring up is, the 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 moment that we're in, and how much that has driven the work in the past for me. This sort of questions of our connectedness to community, um, power, and our relationship to power or lack of power, particular in the community the Black community, and in Harlem where I live. So a lot of the work starts from this point of anxiety and question, and then I might find a material that helps me tell a story, and helps me tell a story in a way that can both complicate and maybe create a mystery around what that thing is. And that mystery is not something that I necessarily want to evoke as something to a luxury of sorts. It's really the mystery is a way of bringing in other people's experience into the work, and so that's always a challenge. It's really about taking that story, taking that narrative, and then finding the material that will take me on a journey. Then in taking me on a journey, I can try to take the viewer there as well. So as Gary was saying, there's 3 decades of work, and it's really humbling and somewhat maybe harrowing to see so much of yourself in one particular architectural space. Whether it was a new museum or Houston or now in Denver. Um, it's it's a luxury, it's a privilege, but it's absolutely terrifying at times to see that, because now I wonder what the next 40 years of my life will be like. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge for the next body of work, and then a challenge for where I want to go. So it's also an exhilarating time. After this, I feel like I'll speak a little bit about this pandemic because it's been such a trauma for this country. But I also think it's brought about this energy from particularly the young people. And I'm inspired by what they're doing and what they're taking on. And I actually feel like this is a moment that I'm excited to be living in. I would say this to my daughter when she gets anxious and depressed about losing. She's going off to college and missing her prom and things, that rite of passage of going to the next level, and in graduation. And I always say, listen, this, I don't know if you can think about this, but this is the moment that I am absolutely happy to be able to live in. I feel like it's a moment of history. It's a moment of the civil rights era. That time is like what we're experiencing, and so for me, it's a battery for thinking about future work and future ideas and future challenges. And so, yeah, looking back is what this show is about, but also it's also about thinking about the future. And I want to share that with you and look forward to you seeing the show at the NCA and hopefully hearing what you think. Thank you.
Neri. Thank you, Neri. Thank you,
Thank
man.
you.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. It has
Thank you.
been an honor.
Yes,
Oh my
thanks for
God,
staying
it
in
means
Thank you
touch.
such an
so
honor.
much. Yeah, appreciate